Greetings and salutations, my name is Delthea, doing Fire Emblem Heroes, talking to you about my Tempest Trial team that I've been using, because there's a couple of interesting things going on here. So if you look at my screen now, you're probably looking at saying, well great, yeah, now you have Delthea and you have Bridelia, both of them are glass cannons, both of them are overpowered, and then you have dancers behind them. What is so special about this? Well, there's a couple of layers of things going on here. You can notice that they both have life and death. You might be able to notice, well, of course you could just read the sides, where they both have some variant of Breath of Life, and even one of them has the attack ploy seal. Don't worry about that. That's just me being weird. I just wanted to have it on someone. So, what's going on here is that they both have Miracle as their special. I don't have Luna or Moonbow or Iceberg, anything like that on these guys. They both have Miracle. Of course, Delthea comes with Miracle. I had to give Miracle to Bridelia. And what the deal here is that they also both have Desperation. They're really a mirror build for the most part, except for, of course, you know, there's a couple things that make each of them unique, such that one of them is doing physical damage against defense, the other is doing magic damage against resistance. And you can see here that now that Bridelia is within range of Desperation and within range of Wings of Mercy, at least Wings of Mercy 3. At the time of recording, I only had Wings of Mercy 2 on that Olivia, so, you know, slacking a little bit. But what the dealio here is, if I could use, you know, the cool lingo, is that they can go ahead and go down into Desperation range. They then get immediate support from Dancers Anywhere, and then, of course, they have Miracle, which is going to help save them in the cases where, which is very few, where they don't actually deliver, ooh, hey, I get more feathers, where they don't actually deliver the killing blow. And then, on top of that, they could go ahead and build up Miracle again and then get healed from their other attacking buddy just by being right next to them. This is a very powerful combo, and this is something that has carried me through the Tempest Trials very quickly. There's been a lot of changes to the Tempest Trials that make it feel less of a grind, but this is what has been letting me zip through things. Honestly, I could go through a fight relatively quickly. It takes maybe 8 minutes at most for me to go through a Tempest Trial now with this team. And since Delthea is one of the bonus heroes, I'm pretty much set. Now, of course, looking at this, you don't have to have these exact units, but you do have to have a very similar build. You have to have a nuke kind of mage, like Ninu, or, well, really anybody could do in Delthea's spot. Of course, Delthea is filling the role of the bonus hero for this Tempest Trial. Outside of that, this setup will work. Ooh, more feathers! This setup will work regardless of who you have there, as long as they are a heavy hitter to some regard, and there's lots of mages that fill that role. Then, of course, pretty much any good Brave Bow user will do. Bridelia being the best, but Setsuna, George, both of them are really good Brave Bow users. You can use Takumi if that's your thing for this, but I don't know. He's just poor guy falling out of the meta. He's on hard times. He's standing there at the side of the castle with a cardboard sign. But yeah, no, see, we had down times here a moment ago with Delthea, and then we healed her up by just attacking while we were adjacent to her, and then she could go right back to it. It's a very powerful combination, and like I said, it's been a saving grace throughout the entirety of the Tempest Trials. And it's synergies like that you have to look for in order to figure out how to build a team. Several people have asked me about building teams around different people or things like that, and a lot of them have been twosomes and threesomes. Not too many of them are foursomes like this, and I can understand if you're trying to make a threesome for PvP so you could just add a bonus hero, or you pulled your favorite character like Ike and you're like, oh well, who do I run him with? And you could definitely think that way, but this is just a great example of how all of that plays out and just makes something that works like clockwork, and it's very beautiful. Now, I wouldn't rely on these guys being a defensive team. They won't prioritize targets appropriately. They won't flip around so that they could do exactly what they need to do all the time. Regardless, it's whenever you start to look at all the moving parts and you notice that Delthea has Miracle and that lets her survive a hit, even with desperation, that she otherwise shouldn't have, and then she'll be able to continue to do that again next round. It's just synergies like that whenever you take a look and say, oh, well, you only get to use it once, but if I give that Breath of Life seal to somebody, they'll be able to heal her up a little bit, and then she could continue. And then, of course, you just rinse and repeat. You're like, if I could do this twice and patch up the one deficiency Delthea has, which is that she doesn't do very well against targets with high resistance, if I could just patch that up, that would be amazing. And then you just add some tactics to things, and then you will be all set. So here we're seeing a few other tactical choices I make. This is a brand new Tempest Trial, by the way, of course. You're not seeing things. And for the most part, this setup isn't too special, but I don't know, there's a lot of things going on here, and you can see I'm baiting, just trying to get down in the desperation range. It only works with one of them because there was only enough of them to attack one. Hey, that's fine. That lets me start the combo right away, and then I could go ahead and just warp Bridelia wherever I want. It's pretty darn nice. So those are the kind of things that I really like to see whenever I'm building a team. I wonder how useful this information is to you guys. I want to go ahead and showcase a couple more tactics here, since these battles go by so quickly, and these maps were, I can't say they're the trickiest in the world, but this team really helped me get to where all the openings were and everything. Look at me just taking that hit so that I could force my way through that Julia. That typically you'd want to go after her with a melee hitting character or a bow, but no, I wanted to get in that desperation range. That's why I did that. Otherwise, picking apart that particular board isn't so bad. First time you got there and it's like, you have 6 rounds, go, go, go! That was sort of scary, but and so is this one too. And this one, it's nice that there's one less on every board, and this particular setup was very easy to abuse. There was no challenge here at all. It's more challenging whenever there's a mage or a couple of horses or something like that in the top, but that's not exactly what I had to deal with this time round. And that made it nice because it made me go just a little bit faster. Sorry, I actually forgot some of what I did here. Fa is one person that always messes with me. I look at that and I'm like, oh wait, no, you probably want to hit him with magic because it looks like it's really thick. Wait, no, she's a dragon. You want to go ahead and use a bow user. And so I was watching that video playback just now and I'm like, why am I doing that? Oh yeah, okay. So of course now here we're squaring off against dual Wu Dao users, and it's no big deal. Corrin is always a pain in the butt when she has her elite stats. She is sort of tough to eat through, and you can see here I was like, oh, well, here, man, no, Delthea should be. No one can chew through the bumped up stat Corrin as well as you would like. But here go a pair of Wu Dao users because I don't like them. I haven't pulled one that hasn't had minus attack yet. That would be wonderful if I did that. That's alright. My latest string of red users has not been a minus attack Wu Dao user. It's been Sheeta. Yeah. I'm gonna have a plus 10 of those, one of those eventually. This map was easy to pick apart. Even with the horses, you can just go deep in that on that left side and do that. If that doesn't work, I've always just gone on the right side and just taken 1 or 2 people out. Remember, I have these guys usually are low on hit points at this point in time. They have Wings of Mercy on the Dancer, so it's easy to pull them out. And then just munching through people like this is no big deal either. Well, okay, so it's not like it's super easy. There's always a couple of people who are just a little bit tougher than normal to be able to go through. But hey, that is life. And then finally, last and not least, Oh, the eyeballs. It is a little... Whenever I saw that, that was sort of intimidating. I was like, what is that? And here I am trying to figure out how I want to handle this, because Delthea is good all the way to the top, but Bridelia can handle taking care of that frickin' Sonia without any issue. And so at least going over to the right-hand side, you could go ahead and do that. I hate trying to hit Sonia with a ranged person otherwise, because it just triggers that vantage, and it's first time I realized that was there, that made me so angry. I still am not using the seal I've gotten from this to make this any easier, but that's okay. You know, maybe that would be better, but I don't want to give up my own desperation, so that's just the way that goes. And see, that was nice there too, because I can use the miracle in order to get that last kill. And of course here it doesn't matter if someone dies, because that's the very end and you can go through. So yeah, that is that. Hope I got to show you guys something neat about the tactics that you could use to go through those boards a little quicker. I hope that you guys enjoyed this team. What do you think? What teams have you been using to go through the Tempest Trials, especially if they're ones that you could basically wipe the entire map with? Let me know. And let me know which board you're mostly fighting on. I know that the subreddit tends to have a demographic survey at the end, but I want to know what you guys have been using, because, well, you know, I'm curious like that. And hey, do me a favor, rotate this phone into portrait mode, or hit that escape key on your PC and hit that like button if I've given you something to chew on. If you missed any of the latest information, tap or click those links on the left. And if you like your Fire Emblem Heroes info hot and fresh like grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Delthea. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you, and until next time, take it easy.